Peace, love, and joy, everybody. My name is Blair. Thank you so much for being here on my channel. And today we are talking about settling, okay? Ain't nobody settling for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's no reason why we should be settling for anything at this moment, time, and space, okay? You can have whatever you want. So let's get into it, okay? Like I said, my name is Blair. I am an author. I'm an expat. I also am a public speaker and also a coach. So if you're interested in getting to know more about any of my services, you can always click the button and let's connect. Okay, so let's get into it. Why we should never, ever settle, okay? No matter if you're a man, woman, black, white, Spanish, whatever the case may be, you never want to be settling in your life. I say this because you can have whatever it is that your heart desires. Now, speaking of desire, let's get into the etymology of the word desire. When you look it up, it means await what the stars will bring. Now, I had to write that down because it was kind of like, it was kind of coded. But it means await what the stars will bring. So, when you think about the stars, you're thinking of what, right? The sky, the heavens, the universe, space. Desires are planted in us or on our hearts for a reason. They're not for us not to have them. They're not for us not to get the things that we want, for us to suffer and not have the things that we want. They are for us to grow. These desires are for us to grow in a way where we can align with our desires, right? And then once we align with our desires, the stars will bring it to us. God, source, will bring us our desires, okay? So I wanted to get into that because I thought that just the meaning of desire was very interesting, because it's very telling as to why we should never settle, okay? For no reason should we be settling. So I also wanted to get into how sometimes we think that we're not able to get something because of our background or where we grew up or how we lived or, anything like that. Any of these things are just false, okay? They're false. I want you to think about what it is that you want, right? Because you can literally have whatever it is that you want. Literally anything that you want. There's no need to settle. If I told you right now that you can have whatever it is that you want, what was the first thing that comes to your mind? You can have it. Okay? You can have it. Even that thing that you're like, oh no, this one, I know I can. You can have it. Okay? So let's get into how you can have the things that you want. Okay? First thing is first is understanding what it is that you want. What do you want? Do you want a better physique? Do you want more money? Do you want the love of your life? What is it that you want to come into your life? What is it, right, that you want to come into your life? Then the second thing you're going to do is you have to figure out what it is that you want, because a lot of us, when you ask somebody what do they want, they don't know. So that's why they're not getting it, right? So it's like if you're going to a restaurant. I'm going to give you a short example and then I'm going to get into the second part. It's like if you're going to a restaurant and you're like, oh, I'm hungry. I don't know what I want. And you're just like, oh, I'm not sure. I want this, but I want this. But I don't know if I can really have that, because that sometimes it'll make me gassy. And I don't know about this. And, ooh, this looks nice. But what about that? And you're sitting here going back and forth and you haven't ordered anything. But you're starving. Everybody at the table is hungry. But you ain't ordered nothing. Okay? This is like counterproductive to your desire. But or we'll do stuff like this. Oh, I really want this, but it costs too much, so I'm gonna just get this. Right? And so you accept the lower costing thing, but that's not really what you wanted. So you're not really satisfied when you get your meal because you're like, it was all right, but that other thing I know it would have got me out the way, right? So we don't want to be doing stuff like that. Now, number 1, make sure that you know what you want. Number 2, you're going to write down a list of things that you think about when you think about the thing that you want. So when I say that, I mean like you're going to sit down and you're going to think about all the limiting beliefs. I know people have probably been throwing that word around a lot and you might have heard it before. But you're going to think about all the beliefs you have about that thing, right? Whatever it is. So if you say, okay, for instance, we'll use a money example. I want $10,000 a month. And you're like, I ain't never made that much money before. I ain't never seen that much money all at one time. And I don't, whatever it is, people like me don't make that type of money. My mom's always struggled. My family's always struggled. Whatever it is that you think of when you say to yourself, I want this, then write all that stuff down. Write it all down so you can see what your mind is producing when it comes to that. Because you're only going to be able to receive what you believe you can have. So if you're to believe that you have it, that you have it, then it's going to come to you, right? So you're going to write down all the things that make it so that you're like, nah, I can't have this because of this. All the things that you're thinking about that you can't have, that all the things that you want but you think that you can't have for whatever reason, write down the reason why you can't have it, right? Okay. Then after that, the third thing is after that, you are going to, step 3 to getting what you want, you're going to decide, okay? You're going to decide that you can have whatever it is that you want, okay? You're going to decide that I can have this because I want it. Because why would Source, God, the universe, give you this desire to have $1 million, to have this type of house, to have whatever the case is, whatever the thing is, if you couldn't have it? I'm a firm believer of we are meant to live our lives out loud. We are meant to live the life that we want, how we want, with whom we want, right? Sorry about that, guys. So it started raining outside, so I had to come in. However, back to what I was talking about. We are meant to have the lives that we want. We are meant to live however you see yourself living in your head when you daydream and when you're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? It can definitely happen. So the third thing is to decide. Decide that you are going to get that physique by this time. You're going to make that $5,000 or $10,000 every month by this time. You're going to do X, Y, and Z, because once you make that decision, things are going to start opening up for you. People are going to start messaging you or popping up in your existence. They're going to start talking to you about what it is that you decided that you wanted. And it's going to seem so like, oh my God, I was just talking about that. And it's because desire means await what the stars will bring. But the stars can't bring you something you haven't ordered yet. God cannot give you what you have not declared as of yours yet. So make the decision. Decide that, hey, I want this. This is what I want. I'm going to have this. And then know that it's going to come to you. There's a scripture in the Bible where Jesus says, you can have, what was the exact scripture? It was like, I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like, you can pray to God for what you want and then believe that you already have it. To get what you want, pray to God for what you want and then believe that you have it. Not that you're going to get it, but that you already have it. Okay? So once you decide that you already have it, once you decide that I had this thing. This is my thing. I'm claiming this. This is a part of my life. Then you're going to align with what it is that you want. So say for instance, you're like, okay, I want to make 10K a month. This is the frequency that somebody who makes 10K a month is on. Now you may be down here somewhere, right? However, you start to do things that you think a person who makes 10K a month would do. And you start to raise your frequency. Now, when you raise your frequency to that feeling, when you raise your frequency to what it is that you want, when you're like, oh man, it would feel so great. This is how it would feel. Think about how it would feel if you were already making this money. Think about how it would feel if you were already dating that person or you already lived in that house. How would it feel, right? Feeling is the secret. And then go from there. Because now you're moving in alignment with what it is that you want. Okay? So I wanted to leave you all with that, because I feel as though a lot of people that I've been coming in contact with, I ask them what they want and they don't know. And then some people do know, but they don't think they can get it. And that's not true. You can have it. Whatever it is that you want, you can have it. You can literally have it, and there's no need to settle for second best or something that you think you can get, because everything is available to you. Everything has already been created. You can have what it is that you truly desire. So I hope that this message brings you hope and joy and a lot of love. I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful, fantastic day, week, and talk to y'all later. Peace.